Yo.
Hang on, I was going to take my jumper off.
Fuck, it's not that kind of a call.
Kinky fucker.
Oh, that's my other podcast, sorry.
Yeah. Now what are you wearing?
No jumper.
Saucy. Was it a big brand baller jacket jumper?
Fuck, is he going to make it?
MINISODE!
Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes.
I'm so glad we decided to condense the shows to a minisode.
Fair enough.
I was like, I can't do the intro.
Nah.
Oh, damn. Well, since there's no regular show this week, everyone's just going to bear with me. I'm a bit sick this week. I did want to talk about two of the teams that were eliminated. Obviously, the Boston-Washington series went down to 7 games. Man, just a fantastic series in general, really. Hard to pin it all on John Wall because it wouldn't have went to 7 if he hadn't played as well as he played, but he was definitely noticeably missing a little bit there. Bradley Beal has the massive game, but where do the Wizards go from here, sort of thing? I was a little bit concerned with, I don't know if you guys caught Gortat's comments today,
Oh, didn't.
Nope.
where he
What did he
said
say?
that he's going to evaluate his fit in the team. A piece like Gortat missing from this team changes the dynamic totally. So, I mean, this is one factor, but the other factor for me with this series was there was just no bench power for Washington. There was no one to sort of turn to when Wall was running dry. I mean, I mentioned Beal had the big game, but your guys' thoughts on Washington?
Well, I think we spoke about it when he was traded, Bogdanovic. He really came to Washington and he just bloody lit it up. But I guess the last month or so, he's been a bit of disappointment. And I did anyway. I picked him as a bit of an X factor for the Wizards in the playoffs. And every time I checked to see what he was doing, hate to say it, but he wasn't doing much.
I thought that might have been just matchups, though, in that Boston series.
But you got to play him. The kid can shoot. I mean, he can give you a quick 15 to 20. He's had some. I think he's even had a 40-point game when he played for the Nets. So
Really?
yeah, pretty sure he had like a 44-point game or something like that.
Dang.
So he can score. He can get buckets.
My hat's off to Philip Brown, actually, because as most of you know, Philip Brown, a mad Knicks fan on the courtside page. His comments about Jennings, spot on the money.
Do tell.
Absolutely useless. Wow, did he give him nothing?
It's hard to do something in 5 minutes though.
Still, I mean, jack some shots or something. Do something.
5 minutes, 5 shots, you reckon?
Oh, mate. I mean, he'd have Green. I'd imagine on that squad being the role he has would be green light, get us buckets. He's not out there for the playmaking ability.
No, that's for sure. I think Scotty Brooks has got a little bit to answer for. I thought the rotation was pretty interesting. What was I think it was 40-something to single digits bench production Celts versus Wizards in the last game.
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
That's huge. I mean, look, he's got guys on the bench that can give them minutes, but they need to be played. But yeah, I don't know. I think his coaching is going to be analysed, and I'm sure that's fed into Gortat. Gortat doesn't get much run for him. He should, and I think he scored his first bucket in the game in the third, or maybe even early in the fourth. It was his first actual made shot, but I think he'd only attempted a couple before that anyway. So he's probably not wrong. Sorry, in wanting to assess if he fits or not, and. I think the coaching staff are going to have a good look at what they've got if they want to retool and compete again next year. But a fair ending to a good season. It was just a flame out by Wall, but he, like you said, Hank, they don't get there without him. In a big game 6.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really go missing, but
his shot went missing.
he just wasn't hitting anything, and I just sort of thought, oh, thank God Beal's sort of keeping alive. I mean, Kelly Olynyk, I mean, what the hell? You can't account for that, I suppose. Like he just found his stroke, and to Boston's credit, like they recognised that and they kept going to him. So
I've I've been guilty of being a Morris twin hater, not just one of them, both of them, because it makes me feel better. And I'll tell you what, the twin played pretty friggin' good all season, all series, I thought.
I don't know who's who anymore, so I just give up.
they got Mark Keefe, right? Yeah, maybe.
Maybe. Vince?
Yeah, they got Mark Keefe. It's Mark Keefe. He's the better one.
I know. Yeah, he's the good Lopez twin.
Yeah.
There's always one.
Oh, boy. Well, we'll jump over to the West. Man, oh my God. Did James Harden totally wet the bed or what? My goodness. So, I watched that game twice now. Obviously, for all the fans out there on the Facebook page, All Caps Courtside, they probably saw my reaction, calling James Harden the next Isaac Burton. Because, fuck me, man. I've watched that game twice now. And first time, I'm totally convinced that he threw that game. It's hard to knock him for one bad game when he's had such a great season this year. And I suppose, like, this is my problem with, like, people getting MVP trophies early and stuff like that. Like, imagine how pissed everyone would be had Harden got the MVP award and then he pulled a performance like that. But my God, he threw that fucking game.
What?
He got space jammed. He lost all his basketball powers.
I couldn't believe what I saw. Like, you're right. You watch it and you're going, he's got money on this game for them to lose.
Dude, what? I'm not even joking. If it comes out in a couple months, I'm going to be like, I fucking told you.
Oh, I just keep replaying this one play. He's at the elbow three. It's a shot he's been taking all season.
And he passed it? He jumps and passed it?
And it's like,
he hasn't passed.
You're throwing this game.
He hasn't passed all season.
This fucking game.
Was that the one that he threw out that Gordon didn't get to?
Yes.
Yep. Yeah.
Oh.
My God, totally wet the bed. I mean,
you couldn't think anything else except he's throwing this fucking game. It was
I just even the press conference afterwards, man. Like, there didn't even really seem to be much remorse. Like, and I was like, you know what? It should be fucking $1 million off it. He should fucking He should be ashamed of that performance. I mean, that was disgraceful, man. I mean, I know the Spurs are a great defensive team, but playing with no Kawhi Leonard, I mean, the role. I mean, what was it? Was that Game 6 or Game 7? Did that go to 7 that series? Or 6?
6.
I mean,
it was.
What a
6. It was in Houston. Yeah, that's probably what makes it even worse as well. I mean, it was at home.
Dude.
Yeah, who was not looking at that going, this is going 7?
That was atrocious.
Without a doubt. I've watched it twice as well. The first time, I think I was so just dumbfounded by what was happening. I didn't really pin it on Harden so much as I obviously knew that he wasn't having a game, but I thought, you know, maybe it's the sum of everything that's just going wrong for them, and it's just all happening on the one night. And then I watched the second time, and it is fucking insane how much ball he gives up, how lackluster he is, how indecisive he is. It was like watching a deer in headlights, like a rookie. Like, he just shit the bed, rolled around in it, and then
painted the walls.
And then flung the nappy at his dad or something. Like, it was insane. I cannot remember ever watching a meltdown like that. Like, it was just, everything fell apart. Like
I too watched it twice. What I took away from the second watch was much the same as yourself, Stu, but I actually thought, you know what, the Game 5 really came at a cost for them. They played so well. They lost Nene. They win without Nene, but Game 6 was a game where you needed Nene. There was no one to dump the ball into in the post. Like, there was no... Like, that was just taken away from him. And heading towards next season, like, Nene was great this year for him. What he seems to struggle with, I mean, other than staying injury-free, but he looked focused this year, which makes all the difference with Nene. But I think they really need to address that for next season. I don't think they should be blowing this team up at all, because you guys know, I had predicted them going through. But they need to do something about having a backup for Nene.
Yeah, I heard Mike D'Antoni was the first one to accompany Ryan Anderson down to the police station to report the abuse he got, the physical abuse in that game 6.
Yeah.
Man, he got bashed just left, right, and centre. That showed how valuable Nene is to that team. But also, yeah, their lack of depth and contingency plan in that spot. Anderson had no business being down there, and LA, LaMarcus just went to absolute work on him.
That guy.
You know who might be a good fit in Houston is Gortat.
Couldn't hurt.
That's pretty good.
If he's looking to move.
Yeah, Nene I mean, he's great when he's healthy. I mean, he
doesn't stay healthy, though.
That's the thing, though. I mean, remember his massive contract in Denver, and then they got cold feet and they traded him out like the next week? It's because the dude cannot stay healthy. I mean...
I'd also like to say one more thing about Houston.
Uh-oh.
I said, fuck Mike D'Antoni. Failed again. I couldn't be happier.
You do love
and
Mr. Pringles.
And of all people to do it against as well, to do it against Pop.
Oh, it was great. That was my championship for the year.
It's all about the little victories now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
Don't die, Hank.
Oh.
If you die, do we just keep going, or?
Yeah, I suppose so.
I think we have to. Soldier on.
Yeah, cool.
Can you record a show at my funeral? That'd be interesting.
I wouldn't even go to your funeral.
Thanks, man. You know
Stu will pay for it, though.
Yeah, I'm part of the Shaquille O'Neal funeral paying fund.
Oh. Well, speaking of funerals, they're pretty sad, actually. But what's pretty sad, I thought...
Good segue.
Yeah. What I thought was pretty sad this week was this whole hoo-ha about Zaza Pachulia, his closeout on Kawhi Leonard in that Game 1. I mean, look, it definitely showed its effect on Game 1 because Spurs came out rolling. They came out like they were going to sweep this series or something. And Golden State were on the back foot. I just want to say one thing before we jump into it, because I do want to hear you guys' thoughts on the closeout. And that is, I don't give a flying fuck what Bruce Bowen has to say. Holy shit. Who was the clown who went and got his opinion?
Oh, who do you fucking reckon? Skip Bayless.
I'm sorry, but as soon as you start fly kicking people to the face, you eliminate your opinion from defense.
Oh, how good was the video they put out today, the Vince Carter Mega Mix?
And you know what the best thing is? There's actually other ones. Like, it wasn't just Vince Carter, but...
Didn't he get Ray Allen as well? He got Ray Allen. I think he got Reggie a couple of times.
Yeah.
Wally? Did he get Serbiak?
Yeah, kicked Zerbiak in the face.
Yep. Yeah, like one of the dirtiest players ever. I don't want to hear a single word out of his mouth about that play because he knows jack shit.
I got to say, anyone who thinks Zaza deliberately did that, delete everything in your life. Just
I agree. Completely agree.
I mean,
and Coach Pop, I love Coach Pop. Give me a spell, Pop. I mean,
I was so surprised he came out like that, Vince.
Yeah, me too.
And
me too.
Especially after the fact that Kawhi had released a statement saying that he didn't think it was intentional, and then Pop comes out with this rant. I was in my head, I was kind of like, is he just like in the moment and super frustrated that he's lost his best player for the next game? Like, is this like a knee-jerk reaction? He's calling him because it's not a very Pop thing to do to call out a player like that, really.
He needed to cool down a bit more before he spoke to anyone. The thing that annoys me is if that was Kawhi closing out on Thompson and Thompson, it happened to Klay Thompson, he'd just go, it was just bad luck. Kawhi's not that kind of player, and it's, just bad luck. Happens to one of his players, and he's coached, like you said, one of the dirtiest players to ever play. He cracks it. Well, it was just bad luck. Zaza was doing what he was supposed to be doing, closing out. And like Benson said on Facebook, when you slow it down, anything looks bad. Play it in real time.
But I mean, people like
have a look where Zaza is looking. He's not even looking at the ground.
He's
turning to see where the rebound's going.
And he didn't put his foot under him. He's got his back to him, and he comes down on his heel. Like, it's not Bruce Bowen sticking his whole foot extended out underneath the landing. Like, Kawhi's just come down on the back of his heel and rolled. And no one's brought up the fact that he rolled it earlier on David Lee sitting on the bench.
The amount of morons that come out on social media, it's like, nah, it was dirty. Give me a spell. You've clearly never played the game if you think that's dirty.
Exactly. They're acting like he swept the leg, like he took him out on on a fast break layout and just went for the legs or something. They're totally blown out of proportion.
Shut up, McCoy.
Sorry. Stu said it.
There was one person who was actually questioning it, and he works with me, Brenton Cunningham. I could have slapped him.
What do you mean?
Should have.
He's like, oh, I don't know, he might have meant it.
I'm
like, dude, he was fucking closing out.
Yeah, the only thing intentional about that play is his defense. Like, that's the only thing. He's focused on the play. He's not focused on taking blue-collar player. Do you know what I mean? So he doesn't mind getting rough, but he's not dirty. He's not dirty.
You know when Pop was saying, oh, go and ask David West, and when he locked arms with him and locked arms with this person, has Pop ever seen David West play?
Exactly.
Be the first one to lock his arms up and try and freaking intimidate someone and beat him up. Give me a spell.
I think Pop might also have a drinking problem. There's no way there was any measure of sanity in what he said. Like you just said then, he's coached David West. He knows what David West can get up to. He's coached Bruce Bowen. He's coached plenty of bloody players. I mean, he's coached, anyway, it's what he said is not as relevant to me as what everybody else is coming out on the forums and saying. And I just think it's mental. I said it on the courtside page. Real time, it is nothing more than a closeout. And look, Zaza knew that he didn't get anywhere near Kawhi, and you can tell that by the way that he reacts when the whistle is blown. He runs up the court, arms in the air, skipping like, you've got to be fucking kidding me. He was nowhere near the guy, and I don't even think he knew that Kawhi landed on his foot.
And the thing I find funny too is Kawhi goes down, he grabs his shin, then grabs his knee. Like, you can see the ankle pop out, but then he grabs his shin and then grabs his knee. It's like, what part did you actually hurt? Like...
Yeah, well, I mean, and I also think there was an element in what Pop was addressing in the media, and I don't know, I think I could just read it with his tonality. They were on the comeback. I think they were going to get beaten even with a healthy Kawhi in that game. They were getting chased down 2-by-2, 3-by-3, and I think that lead was going to be gone by the end of the third anyway.
I believe the lead would have shrunk, but I don't know. I think Spurs win that game with Kawhi in there.
Yeah?
Yeah. Golden State weren't even really focused till that second half. Like Mike Brown said, they were trying to ease into that game where you can't do that with a team like San Antonio. They're too good. They're too well coached. And they need to come out on the attack. So I just think with what Kawhi brings us to the table and what we've seen from him this year, I don't know. That kid just seems to come up with the answers. Cool, calm, collected.
If he keeps sitting, it's a sweep.
Well, I was going to say, and then today's game 2 today, man, I'll tell you what, I hope they get him back because as far as like a fan of the game and a viewer, I mean, that was like a preseason game today. That was not fun. And I'm sure we're going to get a different squad from San Antonio that come out. But what was it, 100 to 135? They got whopped by 35 points in the Western Conference Finals. That's not a good look.
No, it's not great. But, it was really disappointing for me today.
What's that?
Pau Gasol needs more than 7 shots.
Yeah.
Especially if LaMarcus Aldridge is as off as he was, which
what the hell's with that, right? Like, didn't he learn anything from Houston? Like, they need him to score. They They dump it off to him. He's passing up shots. It's like, no, like you showed in that schmozzle of a game, that last one in Houston, that what you're capable of. And I don't know, like, doesn't he think that San Antonio might have needed that again? I mean...
Are you surprised, though? That's why I don't understand why not run some more plays for Pau.
Yeah.
Powell's been there, done it. 7 shots for Powell. That's just not enough. Not enough when Kawhi's out.
Well, today was a pretty big day for a lot of the bottom-dwelling teams in the league. We had the ping pong balls.
And the Lakers.
And the Lakers. The ping pong balls have landed. I'll go through the top 10. Boston, wow, the gift that keeps on giving from Brooklyn and Paul Pierce. They snatched the number 1 pick. The Lakers, obviously, take the number 2. Philadelphia 76ers snatched Sacramento's pick at number 3. The Phoenix Suns at number 4. Sacramento number 5. Man, Sacramento every single year, I swear to God, they only get 5, 6, or 7. Like, that's it. They just get these
That's all they
immediate...
deserve.
That's hilarious. Like, oh... Orlando Magic coming at number 6. The Timberwolves, a nice little pick at 7 there. The New York Knicks slide to 8. Ouch. Dallas Mavericks at 9. Sacramento Kings via the New Orleans Pelicans at number 10. So Boston get the number 1 pick. I don't think they keep it. I think they trade it. I got a feeling that they're gonna maybe make a move for a Jimmy Butler or try. I don't think they make a move for Paul George because he seems pretty content about his decision. I don't know if you guys caught him on... Was it Jay Leno? No.
He was on Kimmel.
Kimmel. Man, he needs to be careful he doesn't cop a fine. Like...
Oh, yeah, because he will struggle to pay it.
Yeah, true. Well, he's got to pay his hooker, doesn't he? Oh, too soon?
He's got to pay his what?
Whoa.
He's got a kid to like a stripper?
Does he?
Yeah.
That happens.
We've all been there.
You got to be pretty happy if you're a Boston fan right now.
It's just amazing, isn't it? Danny Ainge. This is why I've always loved Danny Ainge as a front office guy. He just thinks big.
He's fluked this.
What?
He's fluked this. Come on.
No way. You think so?
Yeah, he's fluked it.
Can you go to bed?
No
I mean, Benson,
way.
He's done a Joe Dumas. Come on now.
You're a fuck. I mean, sorry, you're a dick. Can you shut up now, please?
He is the maestro.
Come
Daryl
on.
Morey and these guys should be studying Danny Ainge's general management skills.
McCoy, you get a call from Billy King of the Nets and go, hey, we think if we had Pierce and Garnett, we're a shot for a title. Oh, yeah, we'll give us your next 4 first-round picks. Oh, dear.
Oh, dude, I'm not questioning that move. I'm just...
And then he's gone out and signed Horford. He's traded for Isaiah Thomas. The guy's a great GM.
Mm.
He could probably get Hayward for that pick.
Oh,
Isn't Hayward unrestricted?
He's unrestricted, but they could do sign and trade.
Why not sign him and draft someone?
They could also do that. It depends what his allegiance is to the club and whether or not he wants to leave him high and dry or give him 20 cents of the dollar.
they got plenty of options. I mean, I'm looking at this more of like where they are right now in the playoffs. I mean, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals going up against the defending champs. They're not exactly reflecting a number 1 pick in the draft team at this moment. So they're in quite a good spot. I mean, we talked before about the mismatch of players and utility players they seem to have. I don't know if going away from that is going to make him any better, but I could see them moving the pick and maybe trying to bring in someone like a Jimmy Butler to play alongside Isaiah Thomas. I mean,
I would not give up number 1 pick for Jimmy Butler.
I wouldn't either, but
I'd just keep it. Just get another asset. I mean, even if they get Ball or is it Markelle Fultz? Is it?
yeah. Man, that kid looks good too. Dang.
Yeah, I mean, Isaiah, as great as Isaiah is, he's 29, so draft another point guard. Get rid of Marcus Smart. I'm not that high on Marcus Smart anyway, but just see what you can get for him. All the raps on Fultz is he's really good. He's a gym rat. Never stops working. So I'd be going for.
I can't help but root for him because there's like a mini rivalry between him and Lonzo Ball and LeVar Ball. So
right.
I actually was thinking about today because I had this question down for both you guys, and that is obviously you guys have the number 2 pick. Do you take the Lonzo LeVar combo?
I do.
You do?
Yeah, I do. I think I know I've got this weird feeling that this road show, this fucking freak show is is all post NBA. I just got this weird feeling it's all just an act. He's going to go a bit Kanye on us and claim that it was all part of his, part of the deal. And I think he might let his son play basketball once he gets drafted. So I'd take him purely on talent. I think he's probably the best pick in the draft.
I think you're crazy if you think that's going to be the end of it. I think you're absolutely crazy.
I don't think it'll be the ultimate end of it, but I think it's going to have to simmer down. I'm sure he knows that.
You're giving him a microphone, basically. You're giving him a stage, and I mean, how long before he starts calling out Coach Walton? How long before he starts calling out Lonzo's teammates?
If he calls out Coach Walton, I will fly over there myself. You just leave Coach Walton alone.
I mean, nothing would make me happier. LA, I didn't even care if he goes to Philly, but nothing would make me happier than the Lakers passing on ball.
I like Ball's game, but again, and we've talked about it at bloody nauseum, you're drafting two blokes when you pick Lonzo. It's that simple. And it's a bloke with a massive ego and a big mouth. And he's always right, and his son's never wrong, and his son's the perfect player, and if they're not winning, it's not his fault. Yeah, it's...
I mean, and he doesn't want Kobe's help.
Yeah, I mean, you want to be excited, but then you remember LeVar's involved, and then it kills your excitement. I can't get excited, because as much as I'd like to see him on the Lakers because of his talent, on the other hand, I don't because of his father.
We are going to pick him, though.
You reckon?
You just know.
It's such an LA thing, though, to happen, though.
Of course it is. We don't do anything with it's doesn't have drama in it.
That's what I mean. It's such a LA thing.
We can't even win titles without having a bit of drama.
Totally.
What the hell?
I'm hopeful it's all part of the show, and he can let Lonzo be Lonzo. We'll see.
There's wishful thinking there, brother.
Oh, it is. I'm putting out the positive vibes, and hopefully some of them land on the west coast of the States.
Was a little bit disappointed this year in the draft, though.
Why?
No Mallory this year, again.
Tell you what,
the Mallory lotto.
Oof, that just might be proof there isn't God.
Man, she's.
Man, I'll never forget watching that live. Yeah, neither will my kids. They wouldn't leave the room. It was awkward.
Oh, Jesus Christ. You have to edit that out.
Delete your account.
We've got an adult fan base, don't we?
Yeah, to an extent.
Oh, there's one dude that complained years ago, Anthony Kent, said we swore too much.
Really? I forgot about that.
Really?
Yeah.
Get fucked, really.
So fuck Anthony Kent.
Oh, what was that show? What was it? Was that on the NBL show we did? Maybe?
Oh, fuck if I know. Sorry.
Fuck him.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, boy. Well, each and every week, we hit the Facebook page and ask you guys, the fans, what teams and topics you'd like to hear about on this week's show. And, wow, you guys have done amazing this week.
Yeah!
We were on a drought there for 2 weeks. I was getting quite concerned. So thank you to everyone who took the time to put a question in for this week's show. Our first question comes from Dan May.
Oh, this will be a doozy.
Yeah, this will be good.
He says, illegal screens, full stop.
Not a question, Dan.
Failed. When setting a screen, you must be stationary, right? That means no moving hips or shoulders. Why do I constantly see illegal screens with no foul calls? Either us blind, look at Golden State, for example, with Zaza, always moves on his screens, and so does Green. When are they going to crack down this? It's bad enough players can take 5 to 6 steps for a highlight dunk. Also, I want to take this opportunity to say, suck shit, Houston. Way to give up, Harden. Go join Dwight on his titty.
Is that a question or a fucking essay?
I don't know. Well, I mean, as far as illegal screens go, honestly, I feel like it comes down to the official you've got on the night. Some let it go a little bit more, and
Yeah, they are getting a bit lax on it, though, aren't they?
I think so, especially playoff time. I mean, I tend to find they loosen up on a lot of the rules come playoff time, which makes it so much worse when you get a game and they call everything. Like, nothing adds up. But, yeah, well, I mean, when are they going to crack down on it? I don't think they will. Like,
someone has to get hurt first.
Yeah. What are your guys' thoughts?
I think probably the screeners are getting a little bit clever. I mean, you know, if you're a hoop head and you've played before, if you set your screen on the 45, so you're never going to be legitimately straight up and you're never going to be completely grounded. But if you can set your screen on the 45, it gives you the option to roll out of it really quick. And in real time, again, you slow something down, it looks like it was a movement of the hip. But, you know, if you set it the right way, you can roll out of it really quickly, and that allows you, you know, a split second of a bump, and you get away with it. And I think, you know, it can depend on the ref on the night, but I'm glad that they don't call them. I think guys set them, you know, purely for the purpose of trying to get the offensive player in trouble, and it slows down the game. So I'm pretty okay with the way they're being called.
Yeah, I haven't watched a game and worried too much about it. But Dan's a stickler for the rules. He hates me so much.
Well, our next one's not really a question, more of a statement. From Luke Williams, he says, Zaza the Enforcer.
Great question, Luke. Great question. Thanks for your question.
Have you ever noticed to Luke Williams, everyone's a spud and is a bust, except if you play for Golden State?
Yeah, I'm glad you're not like that with Lakers players, Vince.
Listen here, you bald fuck.
Totally different. Totally different.
It is. Just shut up. Get next question.
Next question. Can we have that first question?
We've had an essay and a fucking statement.
Our next comment.
Shit, guys.
Comes from... Oh, shit. It's not good to laugh like this when you're sick. Our next question comes from Steve Oyston, and he wants to know how the Suns will get screwed over in the draft and not get the first or second pick.
How do we answer that?
Yes, they will. That did happen. The only way Phoenix could get screwed over more is if Lonzo, I'm getting mixed up now, is if Lonzo slips to Phoenix and they take him. That's the only way.
I feel bad talking about the Suns. They're not going to get a good draft pick. They're not a free agent destination. They've got a shitty roster. Oh, I just feel sorry for them.
Don't they have terrible owners? Vince?
He's tight ass. He's terrible.
Which is surprising because they've had some decent teams in years past, but...
Well, in 1993?
Yeah.
Yeah, since Colangelo left, they're just not the same.
Wow, interesting, huh?
Yeah, Robert Sarver's a real tight ass. I mean, he's just not a good owner.
They've got to do something because otherwise Booker's going to walk at the end of his rookie deal. So that'll be a huge loss because he's their only hope of having any type of franchise player.
I'm tipping we'll have some good assets.
He'd look good in a Lakers uniform.
He would look very good.
He'd let Kobe coach him.
Can't believe the questions this week. We finally get a question and it's not even like basketball related. Oh my god. Laurie Barr asks, what songs should Drake have at his party and whose jersey will he wear?
I hope Drake fucking dies and fuck Drake.
What?
Oh. Wow.
Okay. I would assume Drake would have Drake songs at his party, and he would wear a Kyle Lowry shirt, maybe. I don't know.
I'm thinking the black and gold OVO jersey of DeMar DeRozan. And yeah, he's just playing his own shit. He's got a new album coming out, so I'm sure that's all he's playing.
Yeah, we've given Drake way too much airtime.
Yeah. Wow, it was a mixed kettle this week. That was it.
Benson, did you hear that?
Was it another Hankism?
A mixed kettle.
Did I?
Mixed kettle. Is that? That's not a thing.
That's a thing. I'm sure it's a thing.
What the fuck are you on?
Google it. Google it. I'm sure that's a thing.
Hang on.
I'm going to Google that right now.
Mixed
I'm
kettle.
going to jump back in. I think Drake, really quickly on that last question, right now would be wearing a Kelly Olynyk Canadian Pride uniform.
Oh, good call.
Yeah. See, I take our listeners' questions seriously.
Well, glad one of us do.
Question. Single question.
Yes.
Okay, there is no mixed kettle. There's none. Okay, so you've done it again.
So you've been saying these things your whole life, and no one's ever called you out.
No one, not only Vince.
Mixed kettle. That's a mixed kettle.
What's this?
Go stones and rocks, guys.
What's the saying? What's the saying then?
I don't know. It's a mixed bag.
Mixed
maybe.
bag. Maybe that's it. Jeez.
Mixed kettle.
Where did the kettle come from?
I don't know. I'm delirious. I'm like, I'm literally sweating. Like, my throat's killing me. Oh my god.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
So, do we have any questions from the listeners?
Oh, everything hurts. And of course, if you guys want to hear more of the Courtside banter, head down to the Facebook page, All Caps Courtside, where you'll find us here throughout the week, rambling and carrying on, talking about all the latest NBA topics. Guys, if you want to get a question into the show, a question that is...
How would you do that?
You'll see the post up through the week on the Facebook page, All Caps Courtside. We really appreciate questions.
Or long rambling statements. That'll do.
Yeah, we'll take it.
Send in a mixed kettle of questions.
If you want more of the Courtside banter, head over to Podbean, CRTSDE.podbean.com. Guys, all the shows are available there. Of course, our minisodes, the one you're listening to now, are absolutely free. But if you want more content, please sign up for a season pass. It'll get you all the access to our regular shows, plus our Courtside Present shows. Well worth the dosh.
Here it comes. Watch out! Here it comes.